code followed by the pound or hash sign. If you are the host, press star now. Otherwise, please wait. Please enter your PIN followed by the pound or hash. If you do not, thank you. There are 64 participants in the conference. Please announce yourself. Welcome and thank you for choosing freeconferencecall.com. To mute conference participants, press 1. To mute, all participants are muted and they can unmute themselves.
Good morning and happy Friday. Usually the first minute people are still signing in. So we're going to give it just a couple of seconds to make sure that all the beeping ends. Beautiful.
To start conference recording, press 1. To return to the conference, press star. The recording has started.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. I am happy to be here with you. I actually was looking forward to today's call, primarily because, as you know, I was on vacation, and it's been a while since we talked last, and I have a lot to share with you. First of all, definitely want to start with thank you, right? Thank you to those RGMs that took the time to respond to that email that I sent on our Stay Connected newsletter. There was a saying that I put there, and I wanted to get your thoughts. So I got quite a few, and I'll share with you a little bit of what people took from it. Thank you, because also July just closed, and everyone worked very hard to make up the labor hole that we put ourselves into through July 4th and the holiday. We had 2 rough weeks where labor was sort of out of control, but the last 2 weeks we rallied the team, everyone got on the bus, and we were able to turn around our performance. So we finished our labor within the budget. So again, I know that goes with a lot of work, a lot of pain at times, because it's not easy to cut hours and adjust. But you guys saw how the business shifted very quickly the first 2 weeks of July, and that's part of the business, right? I think that's no news to us. We have many situations where the business changes, and then we just have to react quickly. But again, thank you. We came in line from a labor perspective, so that goes a long way. Secondly is Supreme. Everything we do, right? And I know I share, I don't care about results, because you can't care about a number, but the number and the result tells us how we are doing, whether we have the right plan. And I'm happy to share that our Supreme score actually got better. So we are now back to 4.5% Supreme as an organization. Now, I haven't gotten an update, but when I came back from vacation, I did have an email of a recap of a conversation. Every so often we meet with corporate, and they share with us how Cody Foods it's doing across the entire system, right? Their role is to help us ensure that we're, aligned with the brand, that we are moving in the right direction. And one of those things they do is they rank us. They rank our organization with other organizations that are large organizations. That means 100 restaurants or more, right? And they rank us to see how we're doing. Well, I'm happy to share that we are ranked 3rd nationally when it comes to Supreme rating. We are ranked 3rd. That is huge. And I got to tell you, once, the year ends, we're going to be number 1. Why? Because the San Diego market is the market that's going to improve the most, and they're going to take us to the next level. I got to tell you, Don's team up in the Central Valley keep rocking it. They continue to have just a stellar year when it comes to Supreme. They ended up at 4.32 Supreme, okay? Followed by Judy as well. Just 0.2 underneath 4.3, they're also finding their mojo. The Supreme team up in the Central Coast with Jasenia, they ended up at 4.17, so technically 4.2 as well, right? And Karina's team ended up at 3.96, so very close to breaking that 4-minute mark. Again, once we get San Diego, and my job for the remainder of the year is going to be to partner with them to continue to elevate and continue to contribute to their success, right? We should be the best organization in the country by the end of the year. Because, again, if today we're third, I'm telling you, that's going to definitely come to play, and I think we have a shot at it. So thank you for your work around Supreme. It doesn't go unnoticed. Our biggest focus, we know, comes with complaints. We are outpacing the entire Taco Bell system by 2 complaints less per restaurant. Okay, let me repeat that. We are outpacing almost every organization by 2 complaints. That is humongous. That's a huge gap. We are number 1 in the country with the least amount of complaints per restaurant. Even though, again, like I said, I know Karina's team is working on it. They do have some of the highest, and they're working, and that trend is starting to change. Even with that, we are so good. So thank you, because I know there's a lot of passion for us to go after it and to solve it. And the reason being because we know, again, our customer is the number 1 for us, right? Their experience in our restaurants has to be above average. Because when it is, then we get to benefit with their loyalty, with sales. We don't want to keep experiencing the first 2 weeks of July, right? Those weeks are painful. But when sales come in, again, it alleviates all pains. If you have sales, you can staff up. If you have sales, you can give hours to your employees. If you have sales, it is much easier to hit your financial targets, food and labor. When sales are gone, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of stress. We are obsessed with making sure that the complaints, and when a customer visits our restaurants, that they don't have that, right? So thank you for it. I gotta share with you, we also had a lot of above store leaders that did super good in period 7, right? Leading the pack was Alex out in South County. Alex was the number 1 above store leader at 4.58 Supreme, followed by 6 above store leaders at a 4.5. Aldo out in the Central Valley, Armando in the Central Coast, Griselda out in the Central Valley, Sandy out in the Temecula area, and Vanessa out in Southern California. They also dealt with 4.5. But I also took a look at the restaurants and the above store leaders that have actually gone better. And we have 2 above store leaders that improved by 0.5 Supreme score. Brenda out in Oceanside is starting to come, Brenda. You're in the right track. You improved by 0.5, and the second above store leader that improved by 0.4 was Sandy. Now, check this out. Out of the 24 above store leaders, 15 improved their Supreme score in period 7. So again, you just see the momentum that we're building because we're back on track with the daily communication on Supreme and speed. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Now, when you look at the restaurants, man, we have some restaurants that keep on giving. They're like the slot machines. They just keep giving and giving and giving, right? So we had at 5-Star Supreme, 21201, out in Port Hueneme. We have Garden Grove, Jesse. Man, Jesse's just keeps on rocking. 27568 in Garden Grove. We have Christina, you saw the communication on core. She is just rocking it. 27949, 5-Star Supreme. Bertha Corcoran, 31651, 5-Star Supreme. Farmersville. Man, Myra just keeps on going. She wants to go to Hawaii again and do a repeat. Back to back. I love it. And then we have Manatee 40811. Laguna Niguel 4290. We have Norwalk 21145. Exeter 32519. We have Delano 32525. Kathy's going to Hawaii again. And our other Delano 32534 another 5-star Supreme. 38731. Jessica also at a 5-star Supreme. And our last one is, of course, our rock star out in Santa Maria, Alonzo at 5-star Supreme. So as you can see, we still have restaurants that keep rocking, that keep pushing hard. 5 stars. We also had 5 restaurants that, again, your work doesn't go unnoticed. They're on the road to be 5-star Supreme. But check this out. These restaurants improved their Supreme score by 1 point. So 114 in Westminster improved by 1%. 2474. Allen 38807 giving his magic up in Torrance now improved his score by 1. And 19410. And the other store here, if I can read my writing, that's actually just those 4 stores that improved their Supreme score by 1%. So now they're above 4-star Supreme. Again, a lot of great results, mainly because we're staying focused on our plan, right? What is that plan? Our plan is really centered on our vision statement. So what is our vision statement? And I got to do a better job of staying consistent and making sure that we all know it, right? Everything we do revolves around this. Our vision statement is to create a servant leadership organization where everyone contributes to the success of one another, right? What does that mean? We learn how to serve, but we also learn, hey, you help me, I help you. That's as simple as it goes. So there are 7 things that we've been going after and we've been talking to you about, right? They're all about figuring out how do we elevate our engagement, how do we elevate our relationships in the restaurant. Team member one-on-ones, it is the most critical one of all, right? When team member one-on-ones are in play, twofold. Not only do you have employees that care about a team, not necessarily themselves, but a team, but secondly, it avoids your number one challenge in your restaurant. What is your number one challenge in a restaurant? Simple. Gossip. Your biggest challenge, and you know it, I could already see many RGMs are shaking their heads right now. Gossip is the number one cancer in our restaurants. When you tackle team member one-on-ones, you're ahead of it, right? You could hear it directly from your team members. And once you identify that something's not right, ask your above leader for help. Reach out to your director of operations. Heck, HR is also there for you, right? But you have to be the one catching these things. Whenever a complaint comes from a team member, that tells me that perhaps the team member one-on-one is not happening. Because if the RGM is completed the team member one-on-one, you're going to be aware, you're going to be the one bringing those things up and asking for help to help you solve it. But more importantly, the people that are going to be aware of it is going to be your team. They will know that you're in charge. They will know that you're listening, and they will then ensure that they can follow and can be part of this team. So again, our vision statement and every engagement tool that we're giving you right now is to drive that. Team member one-on-ones. We are driving weekly management meetings. And the one that is in my heart the most is the daily communication log, because that daily communication log is the baton that gets passed from one manager to the other to ensure that we are all aware of what's happening with the business. So please keep track of those, right? Secondly, business trend. You guys are seeing the new Stay Connected weekly communications that I'm sending to you. This is to help you stay focused on a couple of things every week, give you some food for thoughts, give you some best practices, and give you some, key items on the fundamentals that you have to go after. Well, you guys are seeing sales. Sales are coming back, mainly because chalupa is a very common word for within our consumer, right? They know chalupas, and they're curious about street chalupas. When done right, they're damn good, right? So they brought some customers back because the Lux box at $7, people are trading down. So we are seeing an impact on, of course, your productivity and the guest check. Now, sales during lunch are down the most. Okay? Why? Well, people out probably take their lunch to work now, right? They'll make a sandwich. They'll think twice before they go there, right? Or they just go to the box. The dinner And as you guys saw, the evening day part is up. What happens? Customers save money for lunch or afternoon, but they don't save the money, and it's very hard to start cooking for their families. So they still go out, which is why you're seeing the increase on the evening day part, which is 8 to 11. Now, it's no secret why we've slowed down 23 seconds. So those 23 seconds are vital for us. Why? Because that means customers are there. There's a high demand. If you're a business owner, so you know demand equals sales. So we have to shift our people to those hours to capture those sales. When you capture those sales, you're going to be, again, save a lot of pain. The same thing happens for late night. You know, we're going out there and shopping restaurants late night, and one thing that we're seeing is lights off. You know, the team putting the chairs on the tables perhaps and turning off the dining room lights. That looks like we're closed. Please share this message with your team. We need the sales to, to provide the things that our team needs. So we have to look at, and more importantly, my ask to you is, again, I shared this during this week, look at your allowed hours. Shift people more towards that 7, 8, 9 o'clock time frame when your customers are coming. Now, accuracy depends on the number of people on shift. We know this. 3 rights. We're looking at most of the complaints as you saw, like I shared with you, 60% of our complaints are coming from a box. I missed my chips. I missed a chalupa. I missed an item in those boxes. That means we elevate our focus on those boxes. We ensure that everything is in those boxes, especially during the evening day part. All right. So to close you out, I wanted to share with you a story, and I'll probably add it later on. As you guys know, I had a chance to go to Bali and I had a chance to go to Bangkok. What a beautiful experience. And I always tell people, right, vacations are important because you get a chance to disconnect from work and hopefully connect with your family and build memories and come back to work and just be fired up. Well, again, I want to share with you a story. I was in Bangkok, and of course, after a couple of fun places with my friends, a couple of drinks, what do most people end up? At Taco Bell. And they had the cravings for Taco Bell. So we ended up at Taco Bell at, 11, 12 o'clock, or I can't remember the time. There are 3 employees working. These are only non-drive-through guys, right? So these are the call-in locations where you just walk in and you take your order. So no drive-through. Now, when we go in, we place an order, right? It's 4 of us. And what was fun, one, is the environment in the restaurant. Even though it was late night, and again, I'll share the video, you had employees dancing. Obviously, we were making a good environment as well. We were dancing, and the employees started dancing with us, so that was pretty cool. We place a long order. Short story is we sit down, we want to eat, and guess what happened? Accuracy happened, right? Even then, we got 2 wrong burritos. We were missing 1 item, and I'm like, this accuracy thing just is, the kryptonite of Taco Bell. Because even in Bangkok, I still had an accuracy opportunity, right? So again, it's part of our business, but how we react to it, we at Kadi Foods, figure it out. We are the best in the country, not by luck. It is because you are engaged, 1. 2, we're providing you the tools so that you could go after it. And at the end of the day, we're all rowing in the same direction. And I thank you for that, right? Because when we take care of our customers, then they're going to help us take care of our team. So again, that's my accuracy story of Bangkok and Taco Bell. I'll share with you the video. I think it's hilarious the way, the employees were having fun. And it was just very interesting. And then I'll close this out with this. Wow, I'm getting better, guys. Timing. Got 11 minutes. I only got one thing to close this out with. Well, the homework was to give me your thoughts on that quote that I sent